For his entire academic and professional career, Dr. West has always emphasized courage. Courage to fight and courage to love. As James Baldwin said, that to truly love is not only to love your enemy, but to teach your enemy to love himself so that he can learn to love you. It is in that spirit that I recite this poem, Mississippi Courage, a lighthouse to the world, for Medgar, Fannie Lou, and Miss Annie Devine. Courage is a lighthouse guiding ships to salvation. Courage is the fire that burns down the dead weeds of racism that rise to suffocate the voices of liberty. Courage is the antibiotic that kills the bacteria of hatred. Courage was the nucleus of the Mississippi Trinity, 3 lamps full of freedom oil that shine the path to dirt and gravel roads to liberation. An insurance salesman, a sharecropper, and a teacher. 3 instructors of liberation teaching that righteous knees only bow before God and that the children of God have an unyielding organic duty to protect the meek like umbrellas shielding us from the acid showers of colonialism or overcoats shielding us from the frozen winds of prejudice. 3 bucking Broncos railing against the pale cowboys who lurk in the dark of the night armed with the silver bullets of white supremacy. 3 lambs of justice who boldly walked into the snake pit of the South, into the lion's den of America to snatch their freedom from Ross Nebuchadnezzar Barnett, Pharaoh Billboard, and their sidewandering, salamandering scribes, the Jackson Daily News. The insurance salesman, the sharecropper, and the teacher, they bore the cross of change. They were the fertile soil in which we planted our seeds of hope as they petitioned us to invest the collateral of our talents into the mutual fund of the movement. That's why we must be tired of paper tiger intellectuals and playboy revolutionaries who care more about their Cadillac payments than tilling the soil of ebony education as they are standing on the backs and trampling the fruit of Medgar, Fannie Lou, and Miss Annie Devine. See, these 3 midwife and nurtured the germination of a movement which caused the rippling of flowers and trees sprouting through the winter of racism into the spring of transformation. Like Shaka, they were the pounding tum-tum heart of a militant movement. Like Jesus, they came to heal the sick. And like Muhammad, they laid down a blueprint for their people. Still, everyday people fighting everyday concerns, speaking volumes with their actions. This trinity shook the fibers of the universe through intellectual guerrilla warfare with the spirit of Jomo Kenyatta. They showed that leaders cannot teach people to stand as mighty as magnolia trees if they themselves are weeping willows, bowing on their knees to the winds of wrongdoers. These 3 embraced the sword of justice and the fires of protest. They embraced the ministers of justice and preachers of the gospel of freedom, teaching us to be engines of organizations and not be driven and plowed over by them. With very little possessions, they fought for the dispossessed, each one crying 900,000 jubilee tears for 900,000 rights and welcome citizens at the mercy of miseducated teachers and chicken-eating preachers. Still refusing to fight the force of evil with evil, believing love is the only antibiotic to hate. For when laid against the light of truth, courage is the mirrored reflection of love, and no greater love than a man who would lay down his shivery cashmere coat of life for another so that we may walk unblemished over the cesspool of struggle. His payments to be beaten, kicked, sprained, spit on, spied, lied, bummed, and turned out by his own for a few crumbs of token positions and just enough money to move across the tracks into the homes that pale people abandoned to preserve the marmalade of Mississippi tradition. In the blood-stained name of emancipation, equality, and liberty, their thick, sweet potato aroma of their legendary legacy demands that we heed the call to explode this corrupt cocoon into a capital of concrete citizens. So I don't know if I'm going to heaven or to hell, but wherever I'm going. For Mississippi, I'm going.
Let's give another round of applause for Dr. C. Liegh McInnis.